Hey guys, it's Erica, and I've got a couple of minutes, so I thought I'd record a video. It's Saturday, July 19th, 2014, and I just did something that I thought I'd record the results of. I thought it was interesting. I did a hydrostatic body fat test. So as you may know if you've watched my other videos, body fat percentage has always been kind of my goal measurement, so 20% has been my goal. And now I'm kind of thinking I might want 18 to 20%. But anyway, so my scale at home is like really off, or I should say really off. And so I've been kind of adjusting based on the scale at my surgeon's office, but that, similar to my own scale, sends an electronic current through the body to measure body fat. And so his is always lower than mine, so I just kind of self-adjust my own to arrive at a number. So the gold standard, I think there's some other methods that are now also considered very reliable, but the gold standard of body fat percentages are dunk tanks, so water tanks, where your body fat is measured that way. Anyway, so I had that done today. So let me talk about the experience first, and then I'll talk about the results. So I've been a swimmer my whole life, have absolutely zero fear of water, and it was actually more uncomfortable than I thought it was going to be. So the company that I use is called bodyfattest.com, and it's a van that goes around to different sites and you schedule an appointment. And the first test you do with them is $49, which I thought was pretty reasonable, and then every test after that's $39. So as a maybe quarterly measurement, or even monthly if I'm going to be aggressive, like I might measure it 1 month from now, for that amount, I think it's totally worth it to have an accurate number. So anyway, so it's a van that goes around, and they have like a little tank full of water, and you walk into, it's like a trailer. It is a trailer, actually. You walk in, there are 2 changing rooms, and so you bring a bathing suit and a towel, and so there are 2 little changing rooms with like a curtain. Change into the suit, come out. There's a scale there, so they weigh you, get like your age, and obviously they know that your gender, hopefully, but I'm such a dork. Anyway, weigh you, and then you sit on the edge of it's basically like a bathtub, and then you swing your legs around and then get into this tank, and then it's shallow water, shallow enough where you lay down on your stomach. At least for this one, you lay down on your stomach and put your forearms almost like in a plank position, and he gives you instructions. And so you blow out all the air that you can until you're nearly depleted, and then he'll tell you to go down, and then you let you go underwater and blow out the remainder of your air, and blow as hard as you can. And then once there are no more air bubbles coming up, he'll get a reading, and then you come back up. And so he does it 3 or more times. He did it 3 times for me. And I felt like, first, it's just like counterintuitive to let all your air out, because you let all your air out and you feel like you're gonna die. So it was a very strange sensation for me, and went into it without any fear at all, but I got into it, and it was a very strange sensation and rather uncomfortable. But I'll do it again, and I have no problem with it. It's just, if you have a fear of water, I really think that people with a fear of water probably would have a really hard time with it. But anyway, on to the measurements. So the good news is, as I've been adjusting for my surgeon's scale, I think that I've been pretty close to accurate. So it means that I'm not way off. Unfortunately, my body fat's way higher than really what I want it to be. I was kind of hoping by some miracle, I'd have a lot more lean mass than any of the devices have wanted to calculate. But I should also say, I've been doing this boot camp class. I got a Groupon for a 6-week boot camp class, and I just finished week 5 this last week. And in week 1, they did one of those handheld device things, and it measured me at like 28-point-something% body fat, which is much higher than what I really am. And I knew, if you look at any of the ranges, 28's, I think it's still considered in the healthy range or acceptable range, but it's like you wouldn't be able to see lean mass on me at that range. But anyway, okay, so on to the numbers. So they measured me at 24.4% body fat. So the weight of my body fat is 36.35 pounds. Lean mass is 112.85 pounds. So that's not bad. I think I've been measuring myself at 111 point something pounds of lean mass, so it's pretty darn close. Okay, so 24.4. The one thing that they don't do, and I asked him at the end, like, what about breast implants? And he said it doesn't really matter, that it's considered neutral, so it doesn't count. So I don't really know. So I'm gonna adjust my own personal scale at home. This morning it calculated 27.5% body fat, and so I'm gonna calibrate based on this at 24.4 against the 27.5. I think that that's probably it's close enough. I mean, when I get to like 18% body fat, if it's a percentage off, and I say a percentage off because if I were to take, they weighed me at 149.2 pounds. So if you were to take, I never thought I've been hovering in this range for a while, but anyway, a few days ago, actually 2 days ago, I was 146 point something, so I really don't know why it goes up and down so much. But anyway, what was I going to say? If I were to take 1.8 pounds off the 149.2, it would calculate my body fat at 23.4, like an entire percentage point. So at this point, I'm far enough away from being at my goal that I'm not really going to worry about it, but as I get closer, I may be a little bit more nitpicky. And if I like what I see in the mirror, then who freaking cares what the percentage is at that point? Okay. So what's interesting is when you go online and you look at body fat percentages, there's all kinds of different charts and things that tell you what a healthy range is. And 24.4 puts me on the bubble between acceptable and fitness. I think fitness is like 21 to 24 or something like that. So I'm kind of in the middle, like almost being in fitness, but not even close to athlete. I think athlete range is 16 to 20 for a female. What's interesting is they printed me out my own range, and the source is Dr. Kenneth Cooper's Institute for Aerobics Research in Dallas, Texas. And for my age range, the kind of transition line or middle of the road is 20%, which is odd because when I was at 21, I was pretty darn lean and people were asking me all the time what I did for fitness and stuff. But so at 24.4, that puts me at a percentage rating of fair. And it goes from very poor to fair to good to kind of the transition line where you're between like ideal or whatever, and then healthy and then essential fat. So 7.3% body fat is considered essential, which I think that's pretty low. Like, I don't know. It seems weird. It seems off to me. But anyway, I don't care. 24.4, I was expecting it to be between 24 and 25, so no surprises at 24.4, and I think if I were to do my calibration thing, it would end up being probably pretty close. The biggest question, of course, is just the boobs and how much that throws things off, but again, like, if I'm being calculated at 19 and really I'm 18, then, and actually I think the 1.8 might make more of a difference as I get closer, but whatever, like, I'll figure it out when I get sub 20 or 20. Okay, so based on this, to get to 20% body fat, my target weight would be 141, exactly 141, and so that means I have 8.2 pounds of fat to lose. And this is all written out in like a page pamphlet thing, which they gave to me, so that's pretty cool. Another interesting thing that they told me was the resting metabolic rate. So based on my lean mass, my resting metabolic rate is 1,609 calories, which means just to like lay down in my bed and stay alive and have everything functioning properly, I'd have to eat 1,600 calories. And so that accounts for about 70% of daily expenditure. I don't know if that's based on like a somewhat sedentary lifestyle, like if you have a desk job or what, but he said that it means that I should expect to eat somewhere between 2,000 and 2,200 calories just to kind of maintain, which kind of makes sense because I feel like I've been eating like a lot, and that when I try to cut back, it starts like it's a little challenging for me compared to what it was like even a year and a half, 2 years, obviously 2 years ago. And then the last page of the handout says, based on my own lean body mass, and whatever, for 30 minutes of exercise, how many calories I can expect to expend. So as an example, running, where's running? Running at I'll say 10 miles, no, 8-minute mile. Okay, I run at about a 10-minute mile. That might be a little fast, but okay. It's probably, so at a 5-mile-per-hour pace, which is a 12-minute mile, I'd be burning 271 calories in half an hour. And then at an 8-minute mile pace, which I would never be running for more than a mile, would be 423 calories. So if I'm somewhere in the middle at about a 10-minute mile, I'm probably burning about 340. What's the difference there? 340, 350 in half an hour. Other things, circuit training. I'd say circuit training, they say 271 calories for half an hour. So all good, interesting stuff. What this means is I'm going to turn back into a nerd and start putting all these numbers, since I have more precise measurements, into a spreadsheet again and start maybe logging calories. So anyway, very interesting stuff. I plan on doing this again in maybe after Tough Mudder in a month or something. Other news. I don't think there's really other news. I really like boot camp. I think I have other stuff, but this is now almost 12 minutes. Let's see. Oh, I have kind of fun stuff. A couple coworkers and I are doing like a little bit of a challenge, like a 1-month challenge. So it's somebody, a coworker who's doing Tough Mudder with me, and then another coworker who also is kind of fitness and weight loss oriented. And so what we're gonna do is, this is my own design, and it's kind of like similar, I was thinking of as like the point system in Weight Watchers, but a little bit more tailored towards what each person's goals are. So we're going to give, so it's based on 4 weeks. Every day we're going to get like a number of stars for the day, depending on how you did against your goal. So food, I think, gosh, I had a whole number of star system. How many stars was it per day? Shoot. I went back and forth trying to get to a number that seemed rounded after 4 weeks, and I think I came to a max total of 100 points or stars or whatever. Anyway, it was a mix of food being the dominant thing you get credit for, and then the second one was exercise. And so, and then bonus stars. So if you do something like an extra run, or I don't know, passing up on something significant food-wise that you want, and it was challenging to pass it up, something like that. So each day you kind of self-evaluate whatever your matrix is, and then exercise was going to be a weekly assessment, so 10 stars for a week. And so each of us are going to have our own assessment of that. Like one person's going to say 1 star per half hour of exercise in a day, or an hour, or something like that. For me, it might be every trail run I'm going to give myself 3 points. Every boot camp I'm going to give myself 1 point, and then every run on top of that 1 point, and so up until 10. And then bonus points, I'll just define it for myself. So it's very tailored. Like, so we're just about to start. Today's supposed to be day 1. Today's Saturday, and so we'll kind of reconvene on Monday and figure out how we want to actually put this into practice. But at the end of the 4 weeks, we'll probably have some mix of who has the highest number of points, and then also ultimate goal, our ultimate goal is for the 4 weeks, not just to be complete what we wanted to in terms of behavior, but like maybe mine will be lose 2% body fat or something like that. So I go from 24.4 to maybe it's 22, so I lose maybe 2.5 percentage points of body fat. For somebody else, it might be something totally different. So anyway, that's kind of our little plan. So I'll update you as the details work out. But I think it's actually kind of a cool idea. And I think at the end, whoever wins, this is the big thing. We haven't figured it out completely, but I think everybody's going to pool together to get like something.